Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying this. True status is not found in the applause of men, the wealth of nations, or the recognition of the world. True status is not determined by the car you drive, the house you live in, or the title before your name. No, the two things that truly raise your status in life are your character and your service to others. We live in a world obsessed with reputation. People work tirelessly to create an image, to be seen as important, to be recognized as someone of value. But let me tell you something, reputation can be built on illusion, but character is built on truth. Reputation is what men say about you. Character is what God knows about you. Reputation can be lost overnight, but character will sustain you through the storms of life. Character is what remains when the world strips away your titles, your possessions, and your recognition. Look at the greatest figures in history. Were they all wealthy? No. Were they always celebrated in their time? No. But their character set them apart. Their integrity gave them true status. A man or woman of character will stand strong when temptations come, will remain faithful when the road is rough, and will be steadfast when the world turns its back on them. Your status is raised when you choose truth over lies, integrity over corruption, and righteousness over compromise. It is not the easy path, but it is the path that leads to eternal rewards. Many people believe that self-promotion, boasting, and seeking the spotlight will bring them status. But the truth is, the more you exalt yourself, the lower you fall. And the more you humble yourself, the higher you are lifted. The greatest leaders are not those who force others to follow, but those who serve others with humility. True strength is found in humility, and true honor is given to those who put others before themselves. Look at the world around you. You will see that the proud are brought low, and the humble are lifted up. This is not just a principle of leadership, it is a spiritual law that governs life itself. When you serve with a humble heart, doors open for you that no man can shut. Many people desire greatness, but they are unwilling to be faithful in the small things. They want to lead nations, but refuse to be responsible in their daily lives. They want to be honored, but neglect the discipline and commitment required for true status. Listen to me, if you are faithful in little, you will be entrusted with more. The small things matter. The way you handle your responsibilities, the way you treat others when no one is watching, the way you remain honest even when it's inconvenient, these things determine the level of status you will truly hold. Do not despise small beginnings. Every great leader, every influential person, every history maker started with small things. They were faithful when no one was watching. And because of their faithfulness, they were elevated to higher levels. Your status is not determined by a sudden breakthrough, but by the consistent faithfulness you show in your daily life. The world defines status by how many people serve you, but the greatest status is found in how many people you serve. If you want to be great, serve. If you want to be a leader, serve. If you want true status, serve with a willing heart. Look at the greatest figures in history. They were all servants. They did not seek to be served, but they gave their lives for others. The highest form of leadership is servanthood. The greatest act of love is sacrifice. When you pour yourself out for others, you are lifted to a position of true status. Do not be deceived. Selfish ambition may give you temporary recognition, but a life of service will give you eternal honor. We live in a world that places great importance on reputation. People carefully curate their public image, striving to be seen as successful, powerful, and influential. Social media, news outlets, and public perception often dictate a person's standing in society. But reputation, as valuable as it may seem, is fragile. It can be built up over years and destroyed in a moment. Character, on the other hand, is unshakable. It is the foundation upon which true greatness is built. Reputation is what others think of you, but character is who you truly are. Reputation is external, shaped by public opinion, but character is internal, formed by the values and principles you uphold when no one is watching. A person can wear a mask of respectability in front of others while harboring deceit, dishonesty, and selfishness in private. But eventually the truth will come to light. History is filled with examples of individuals who had stellar reputations but lacked integrity. Leaders who were praised by the masses only to be later exposed for corruption. Celebrities who were admired by millions only to be caught in scandals that shattered their public image. Businessmen who were once trusted but whose deceitful practices led to their downfall. The lesson is clear: reputation alone is not enough. Without character, it is a house built on sand, ready to collapse at the first storm. Character is built over time through choices, discipline, and the commitment to do what is right, even when it is difficult. It is forged in moments of temptation, where a person decides to stand firm in truth rather than take the easy path of deceit. It is strengthened through perseverance when trials and hardships test one's integrity and they remain steadfast in their values. Unlike reputation, which can change overnight, character is the product of consistent effort and moral conviction. One of the greatest aspects of character is honesty. A person of character does not manipulate the truth to gain favor. They do not engage in deceitful tactics to climb the ladder of success. Instead, they stand firm in integrity, knowing that even if honesty costs them something in the short term, it is far more valuable in the long run. Another key element of character is humility. A person of character does not seek status for the sake of admiration. They do not crave recognition or build their identity on the opinions of others. Instead, they live by their principles, serving others with a heart of humility and seeking to do what is right rather than what is popular. Loyalty and faithfulness are also essential to character. A person of character keeps their promises, honors their commitments, and stands by their values even when faced with adversity. They do not waver when circumstances become difficult, nor do they compromise their integrity for personal gain. The world may celebrate reputation, but it is character that defines a person's true worth. While reputation is the reflection others see, character is the substance that remains when all else fades. In a world that glorifies self-promotion and ambition, humility often seems like a forgotten virtue. Society encourages people to boast about their achievements, to seek recognition, and to demand respect. But history and wisdom teach us a different truth. True honor is not gained by pride or self-exaltation. It is granted to those who walk in humility. Humility is not weakness. It is not a lack of confidence or an attitude of self-deprecation. True humility is strength under control. It is having the ability to elevate oneself, but choosing instead to serve. It is possessing power, but using it with grace and restraint. A humble person does not seek to be above others. Instead, they focus on lifting others up. Pride, on the other hand, is the downfall of many. It blinds people to their own faults, making them resistant to correction. It fosters arrogance and creates division, pushing others away instead of drawing them in. History is filled with individuals who reached great heights but fell from their positions because of pride. Kings, rulers, and leaders who once held power lost everything because they refused to humble themselves. Pride leads to destruction, but humility paves the way to honor. Humility opens doors that pride keeps shut. A humble person is teachable, always willing to learn, grow, and listen. They do not assume they know everything, nor do they dismiss the wisdom of others. This openness attracts mentors, creates opportunities, and fosters respect. Those who are humble do not have to demand honor. It is freely given to them because of their character. One of the defining traits of humility is a willingness to serve. The world often associates leadership with dominance, but true leadership is rooted in servanthood. The greatest leaders in history were not those who demanded to be served, but those who dedicated themselves to serving others. They led with compassion, understanding, and a desire to make a difference rather than seeking personal gain. Another key aspect of humility is gratitude. A humble person recognizes that their success is not solely their own doing. They acknowledge the support of others, the opportunities they have been given, and the blessings they have received. They do not take credit for everything, but instead express appreciation and give honor where it is due. Gratitude keeps a person grounded, preventing them from developing an attitude of entitlement or superiority. Humility also cultivates strong relationships. No one enjoys being around someone who is boastful, arrogant, or self-centered. But humility draws people in, fostering trust and respect. A humble person admits their mistakes, seeks reconciliation, and values others' contributions. They do not see themselves as more important than those around them, but treat everyone with kindness and dignity. While pride isolates and destroys, humility builds and elevates. It allows a person to walk in wisdom, to grow in understanding, and to be honored by others, not because they demand it, but because they have earned it through their actions and their character. Greatness is often associated with grand achievements, monumental successes, and public recognition. People dream of making a significant impact, gaining influence, and achieving great things. However, true greatness does not begin with big accomplishments. It starts with faithfulness in small things. The way a person handles small responsibilities determines whether they will be entrusted with greater ones. Faithfulness in small things means being diligent, trustworthy, and committed, even when the task seems insignificant. It is easy to overlook small duties and view them as unimportant. But in reality, they are the stepping stones to greater opportunities. Every great leader, every successful individual, and every influential person began by proving themselves in the little things. One of the greatest tests of character is how a person handles responsibilities that seem unimportant or unnoticed. Many people desire promotion and recognition, but they neglect the small tasks placed before them. They want leadership positions, but are unwilling to serve in the background. They seek influence, but lack the discipline to be consistent in the little things. However, those who prove faithful in the small will be trusted with more. Faithfulness is revealed in consistency. A person who is diligent in their work, even when no one is watching, demonstrates integrity. They do not cut corners or perform well only when they are being observed. Instead, they remain committed to doing their best at all times. Whether it is arriving on time, completing tasks with excellence, or keeping promises, small acts of faithfulness shape a person's reputation and determine their future opportunities. Faithfulness also requires patience. Many people want instant success, but true success is built over time. The most fruitful trees do not grow overnight. They require years of steady care and nourishment. In the same way, those who remain faithful in small things develop the endurance and character needed for greater responsibilities. They do not rush ahead or seek shortcuts. Instead, they trust the process and remain committed to the journey. Another aspect of faithfulness in small things is integrity. A person who is honest and trustworthy in minor matters will be honest and trustworthy in major ones. Integrity is not measured by the size of the responsibility, but by the attitude with which it is carried out. Those who are faithful in managing their time, resources, and relationships will build a foundation of trust that opens doors to greater opportunities. Faithfulness in small things also applies to relationships. Being a loyal friend, a reliable worker, and a trustworthy family member demonstrates character. People who value their commitments, keep their word, and show up when they are needed build strong relationships based on trust. Those who dismiss small acts of kindness, neglect their responsibilities, or take others for granted may find themselves struggling to build lasting connections. Many overlook small opportunities because they seem insignificant, but every major success story begins with small steps. It is in the quiet moments of diligence, the unseen acts of responsibility, and the consistent effort in small matters that greatness is formed. In a world that often equates status with power and influence, the idea of serving others as a path to elevation may seem counterintuitive. Society teaches that to be great, one must dominate, compete, and assert authority. But the truth is, true greatness is not found in being served, it is found in serving. The most respected and honored individuals throughout history were not those who demanded service from others, but those who dedicated their lives to serving others with humility and compassion. Service is the foundation of true leadership. A leader who serves earns the trust, respect, and loyalty of those they lead. When a person puts the needs of others before their own, they inspire others to do the same. This is why the greatest and most beloved leaders in history were those who saw themselves as servants rather than rulers. They did not see service as beneath them, but as the highest calling. Serving others requires a shift in mindset. Many people pursue recognition, status, and personal gain, believing that these things will elevate them. However, true elevation does not come from seeking self-importance, but from lifting others up. When a person dedicates themselves to helping others, they build meaningful relationships, develop strong character, and leave a lasting impact that outlives any temporary position of power. One of the greatest benefits of serving others is the transformation it brings within. Serving others develops humility, patience, and empathy. It teaches a person to see beyond themselves and to understand the struggles, needs, and challenges of those around them. Through acts of service, a person gains wisdom and perspective that cannot be learned in any other way. They become more compassionate, more understanding, and more capable of making a real difference in the world. Serving others also opens doors of opportunity. Many people believe that success comes from networking with influential individuals or seeking out personal advancement. However, the most successful people are often those who have dedicated themselves to serving others. When a person serves faithfully, they are noticed not because they are demanding attention, but because their character and work speak for themselves. Service builds a reputation of trustworthiness and reliability, which leads to greater opportunities and responsibilities. Another important aspect of service is the joy it brings. Many people chase happiness through personal achievements, material wealth, or social status, only to find that these things leave them empty. But those who dedicate themselves to serving others often find a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy. There is something profoundly rewarding about making a difference in someone else's life, about knowing that one's actions have brought encouragement, healing, or support to another person. Serving others does not require wealth, status, or special talents. It simply requires a willing heart and a desire to make a difference. It can be expressed in small acts of kindness, in consistent generosity, and in the willingness to help without expecting anything in return. The greatest impact a person can have in life is not in how much they receive, but in how much they give. In a world filled with distractions, ambitions, and countless pursuits, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Many people spend their lives chasing wealth, success, recognition, and power, believing that these things will bring fulfillment. Yet, no matter how much they achieve, there remains a void that nothing in this world can fill. True peace, purpose, and fulfillment are found not in material gain, but in seeking God above all. Seeking God above all means making Him the highest priority in life. It is not merely acknowledging His existence or turning to Him in times of trouble, but rather living in constant pursuit of His presence, wisdom, and guidance. It means placing Him at the center of every decision, every goal, and every goer. When God is truly sought after, everything else falls into its proper place. One of the greatest struggles in life is the temptation to seek security in temporary things. Wealth may provide comfort, but it cannot bring lasting peace. Fame may offer recognition, but it does not give true identity. Power may create influence, but it does not guarantee wisdom. These things, though desirable, are fleeting. They can be lost in an instant. But God is eternal. He does not change, and those who seek Him build their lives on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Seeking God above all requires trust. It means surrendering personal plans and desires in exchange for His perfect will. Many fear letting go of control, believing that they must create their own destiny. But those who seek God find that His plans are far greater than anything they could design for themselves. He leads with wisdom, provides with abundance, and blesses beyond what human effort alone can achieve. Another aspect of seeking God above all is the transformation it brings. The more a person seeks Him, the more they are changed from the inside out. Their priorities shift, their desires align with His, and their heart becomes filled with love, peace, and purpose. They begin to see the world differently, not through the lens of self-interest, but through the eyes of faith and compassion. They learn to value what truly matters and let go of what does not. Seeking God also brings guidance in life's most difficult moments. Challenges and hardships are inevitable, but those who seek Him are never alone. He provides wisdom in confusion, strength in weakness, and hope in despair. He directs paths, opens doors, and brings clarity when everything seems uncertain. His presence is the greatest source of security and confidence. A life that seeks God above all is one that is rich in meaning and purpose. It is a life not driven by the pursuit of temporary success, but by an unshakable faith in the one who holds all things together. When God is sought first, everything else finds its rightful place, and true fulfillment is discovered in Him.